the greatest race in the world. From the opening ball till the race is done, it's thrill after thrill after thrill. The 500, the 500, the biggest and best of them all. And until that checkered flag unfurls, it's the greatest race in the world.
It's race day 1964. Time for the 48th running of the 500 on the greatest race course in the world. Good morning. This is Sid Collins from Indianapolis, Indiana. Here, high above the starting line, in the Master Control Tower, we make ready to report to you for the next 4.5 hours with the lap-by-lap, split-second action. We eagerly await the call for the gentlemen who race to start their engines, and we're pleased to have you with us. This broadcast is an exclusive presentation of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Network. Any reproduction of material contained herein without permission is prohibited. This is the fastest 500 field ever. Of 33 qualified cars, only 2 failed to average 150 miles per hour. Last year, only 5 cars were able to go 150. This year, the pole record of 1963, set by Parnelli Jones, was eclipsed by Scotland's Jimmy Clark by almost 7 miles an hour. The new pole mark is 158.828. This year, it's been an engine war and a battle for tire supremacy. In the engine department, the unsettled question, until 4 hours from now, will be, have the rear-engine Ford V8s made obsolete iron out of the Meyer-Drake Offenhausers, which haven't been changed in some 35 years? And also, is the rear-engine car superior to the conventional roadster with the engine in the front? In this field of 33, there are 21 front engines and 12 rear engines. To break that down further for you, there are 7 Ford engines, 23 Offenhausers, and 3 Novis. 5 of the rear engines chose the Offie, and the other 7 went for the new double overhead cam Ford power plant. 3 rear-engine Fords make up the front row, and one of these, driven by Bobby Marshman, went 160 unofficially just last weekend. The rear engines qualified at better than 154, and the field average is 152 1/2. Therefore, the rear engine is the favorite today. However, we must consider some of the great racers who have stayed with the front Offenhausers. Parnelli Jones, A.J. Foyt, Troy Ruttman, Jim Hurtubise, and Johnny Boyd, to name a few. The 4-cylinders have won every race here since 1947. Another point to consider is the weight. The Roadsters weigh from 1,400 to 1,800 pounds, with some rear-engine machines down to almost 1,000 pounds to give them more maneuverability. As for tires, this was a real contest, with the Firestone brand winding up with 29 cars, 2 running the Dunlop label, and 2 with Sears Allstate tires. And most crews planned the 500 miles without a tire change. It was a great month for competition, but now the small skirmishes have been won or lost, and the real battle is upon us. The 7 rookies in the field, 4 former winners, Jim Clark of Scotland, the world driving champion, Jack Brabham of Australia, 3 Novis. It should be quite a race. In each of the last 12 races here, the difference between first and second has been less than 35 seconds. In 3 of the last 4 races, less than 15 seconds. So the pit stops today are crucial. Without changing tires, some pit stops may be less than 15 seconds. But we'll be here for this beautifully complicated, biggest day in auto racing. Soon the deafening roar, strong arms will tighten their grip on the steering wheels, and then the green flag. This is my 17th year to talk to you and to introduce my wonderful group of veteran broadcasters. You will meet them all as the day progresses over this largest of all radio networks. On the line with us right now are more than 800 stations, and listening will be more than 100 million people. Relayed by the Armed Forces Radio Service to military bases around the globe, shortwave by Radio New York worldwide, beamed out by the Voice of America to every spot on earth where English is spoken, translations into Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Italian. We have 10 other voices located all around this 2.5 mile race course. Our race authority again this year, for the 6th time, will be Freddie Agabation, member of the Champion Spark Plug Company's Highway Safety Team. He will give the sidelights of this event as only a race driver knows them. Now, for those of you keeping charts, get your paper and pencil handy. In just 60 seconds, we'll be back with today's starting lineup. Now stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing. Back in the Master Control Tower, Indianapolis, Indiana once again. Here is the starting lineup as they qualified row by row. First row, car number 6, Jimmy Clark, Doon, Scotland. A Lotus Ford, and we'll tell you the type of engine, a rear engine Ford. Number 51, Bobby Marshman, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, the Pure Oil Firebird Special, a rear engine Ford. And the first row also on the outside, car number 2, Roger Ward, Indianapolis, Indiana, the Kaiser Aluminum Special, a rear engine Ford. The second row, number 98, Parnelli Jones, Torrance, California, the Agajanian Bose Seal Fast Special, a front engine Offenhauser. Number 1, A.J. Foyt, Houston, Texas, the Sheraton Thompson Special, a front Offenhauser. Number 12, Dan Gurney of Costa Mesa, California, Lotus Ford, a rear engine Ford. Third row, number 18, Lloyd Ruby, Wichita Falls, Texas, the Bill Forbes Racing Team Special, a front engine Offenhauser. Number 66, Len Sutton, Portland, Oregon, Bryant Heating and Cooling Special. That is a rear engine Offenhauser. Number 5, Don Branson, Champaign, Illinois, Wynn's Friction Proofing Special, a rear Offenhauser. The fourth row, number 53, and mark him as a rookie, Walt Hansgen, Bedminster, New Jersey, the MG Liquid Suspension Special, a rear engine Offenhauser. Number 56, Jim Hurdabees, North Tonawanda, New York, the Tombstone Life Special, a front engine Offenhauser. Number 23, Dick Rathman, Roselle, Illinois, the Chapman Special, a front Offie. The fifth row, number 88, Johnny Boyd, Fresno, California, the VitaFresh Orange Juice Special, a front Offenhauser. Number 83, a rookie, Dave McDonald, El Monte, California, the Mickey Thompson Sears All-State Special, rear engine Ford. Number 86, Johnny Rutherford, Fort Worth, Texas, the Bardall Special, front engine Offie. The sixth row, number 64, a rookie, Ronnie Duman, Indianapolis, Indiana, the Clean Wear Service Company Special, a front Offie. Number 25, Eddie Sachs, Detroit, Michigan, the American Red Ball Special, a rear engine Ford. Number 14, Troy Ruttman, Dearborn, Michigan, the Dayton Steel Wheel Special, a front engine Offie. The seventh row, number 15, Bud Tinglestad, Dayton, Ohio, Federal Engineering Special, a front Offie. Car number 16, Bobby Grimm, Indianapolis, Indiana, the Constant Hot Special, a front engine Offenhauser. The outside of the seventh row, another rookie, car number 99, Johnny White, Warren, Michigan, the Demler Special. The eighth row, car number 9, Bobby Unser, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Studebaker STP Special, a front Novi. Number 54, Bob Veith, Fort Bragg, California, the MG Liquid Suspension Special, a rear Offie. Number 84, Eddie Johnson, Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, MT standing for Mickey Thompson, Sears All-State Special, a rear engine Ford. The ninth row, number 52, Jack Brabham of Surrey, England, John Zink Urschel Truck Burner, that's URSCHEL, a rear engine Offenhauser. Number 28, Jim McElreath, Arlington, Texas, the Studebaker STP Special, a front Novi. Number 4, a rookie, Bob Harkey, Indianapolis, Indiana, Wally Weir's Mobile Gas Special, a front Offie. The 10th row, a rookie, number 77, Bob Mathauser, Omaha, Nebraska, the Dayton Disc Brake Special, a front Offenhauser. Number 95, Chuck Stevenson, Garden Grove, California, the Diet Right Cola Leader Card Roadster, a front engine Offenhauser. Number 3, Art Malone of Tampa, Florida, Studebaker STP Special, a front Novi. The last row, number 11, car number 26, Norm Hall, Los Angeles, California, the Hearst Special, front Offenhauser. Number 68, rookie Bob Wente, W-E-N-T-E, St. Louis, Missouri, the Moorcroft Taylor Special, a front Offie. And the last man, starting 33rd, who was almost bumped, but made it the final day of time trials, Bill Cheeseburg of Tucson, Arizona, car number 62, the Arizona Apache Airline Special, a front-engine Offie. That's your lineup. The overall qualification average of the entire field, 152.540. Last year's average speed, 149.028. 3.5 miles an hour faster. And the new four-lap record includes a new one-lap mark of 159.377 set by Jimmy Clark. That is the lineup by rows. And now by car number, as we'll be referring to them through the day, if you want to jot these down by last names only numerically. Number 1, Foyt. 2, Ward. 3, Malone. 4, Harkey. 5, Branson. 6, Clark. 9, Unser. 12, Gurney. 14, Rutman. 15, Tingelstad. 16, Grimm. 18, Ruby. 23, Dick Rathman. Brother Jim is not driving this year by his own choice. 25, Eddie Sachs. 26, Norman Hall. 28, Jim McElreath. 51, Bobby Marshman. 52, Jack Brabham. 53, Hansgen. 54, Veith. 56, Hurtubise. 62, Cheeseburg. 64, Duman. 66, Sutton. 68, Wente. 77, Mathauser. 83, McDonald. 84, Johnson. 86, Rutherford. 88, Boyd. 95, Stevenson. 98, Jones. And 99, White. We trust you'll be able to keep your charts from that information. Our staff of broadcasters around the track, Bill Frosch in the number 1 turn, his 11th year with us. Howard Bell, the number 2 turn, his 3rd. Mike Ahern, his 3rd year on the number 3 turn. Jim Shelton, number 4 turn, his 15th year on the staff. Jack Shapiro, the north pits, for this his 9th season. Luke Walton, the center pit, the 11th year. Lou Palmer in the south pit for the 7th year. Bill Dean, our producer, for the 14th 500. Freddie Agabation, the 6th year. And John DeCamp joining us today for the first time, his first year, and Chuck Marlowe for the first time on the backstretch, this his first year. John's a graduate engineer from Purdue. He'll keep track of close driving duels, pit stops, cars out of the race, and positions. The cars are lined up on the racetrack. In just a few moments now, we'll be set for the immortal words of Tony Holman, the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Many celebrities are here today. Bill Malden's in the crowd, Marilyn Maxwell, Benson Ford, John Millis, Bill Benton of Detroit, Bob Wilkie and Phil Harris, Clyde McCoy, Keely Smith, Wes Mahaney from Los Angeles, Jack Nicklaus and all the golfers competing here in the 500 Festival Open Golf Tourney, which ends tomorrow. Ralph Hessler from Detroit, Hugh O'Brien, British Ambassador and Lady Harlech, Richard Headley, National JC President's here, Harold Close, the Imperial Potentate of the Shrine. Dennis Morgan poked his nose in the door a moment ago. And early this morning on this track, a parade of more than 25 bands played on the main stretch. Cars are now aligned in perfect order. It's a record crowd, over 300,000 fans. Some say upwards of 320,000 fans are here. Our track is ablaze with color. Pearl whites on these cars, oranges, purples, silvers, red and blue trim, yellows, and Clark and Gurney, defying the superstition with green cars from Lotus Factory Racing Team. Green is their color. And one of the drivers who always disliked that color was my friend here, Freddie Agabation, who will probably comment on it before the day is over. We'll be set now for the start of this race. Salute bombs are going off, and the music will follow as well. We'll be back in just 60 seconds. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing. Back at the Master Control Tower here at Indianapolis, once again, the feeling is tense. Right about this time, and let's call in Freddie Agabation to give you an idea of what a driver feels like as he's seated in the cockpit of the car, probably buckling his gloves and pulling down his helmet. Fred?
Well, Sid, about this time a driver's feelings are rather mixed emotions. Actually, he's anxious because of what's going on, what he might have forgotten.
In front of the cars to Mr. Luke Walton. Come in, Luke.
Racing course alongside the pace car now, which is stationed near the pylon about 100 feet ahead of the first row of the field formation of 33 cars. It's a beautiful white convertible, 2 yellow flags attached to the rear. Tony Holman is surveying the alignment of the cars. Benson Ford ready to take the wheel of the pace car, and Sam Hanks is readying the two-way radio used to maintain contact with the chief steward Harlan Fengler while the formation is on the backstretch. A lot of people gathered around the pace car now, and we're getting all ready for those famous words which will be the command of the marshal of the race, Tony Holman, to give to the starting field of 33 cars. Everything is almost in readiness. The cars are all lined up back there. The pit crews are all ready, and it's a moment of nervous tension here from pit crew to driver all the way through. And now we're getting ready for those words. Here is that traditional moment that everybody is awaiting now all morning. Tony is standing right here in the car now, looking over the field of cars. The balloons have gone up into the air, and it's a colorful sight here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, right out here in the middle of the racing course alongside the pylon. Just a few seconds now as the Purdue band, with all those gleaming colors, those flags, getting off of the pit area, and the command will be given. Perhaps you can hear. Now here are those famous words by Tony Holman.
Yes, the big moment we have been waiting for.
Just a few seconds now. We're ready for Tony to give the command. The Purdue band is getting off the racing course. Now, here we go. We're getting all ready now for the command to start the race. Tony Holman.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Let's go to turn number 1 and bring in Bill Frosch.
Thank you, Sid. We can see the cars as they're just coming around. Now here comes the pace car. And one we can't mistake is that of Jim Clark, the only green car in the race. Bobby Marshman in the center of that first row with a lot of red and black on him. And there goes Roger Ward, white with red trim. Going on down Cornelli Jones, A.J. Foyt, and now I believe Howdy Bell. You can see the cars as they come to you.
Yes, they're through the short chute, and here they are approaching us now, and a beautiful sight it is from turn number 2, let me tell you. There's Dan Gurney, Lloyd Ruby, Len Sutton, Tom Branson, Walt Hanskin, Jim Hurtubise, Dick Rathman, Johnny Boyd, Dave McDonald, and John Rutherford, and right now they're probably approaching Chuck Marlowe in the backstretch.
Right you are, Howdy. They're coming up on me right now, and we're getting all set to see this pace car bring the entire field down. 33 cars strong at this point. Here they come, past me on the backstretch. First, second, and third row. Sixth row now passing Ronnie Duman, Eddie Sachs, and Troy Ruttman. The seventh row, Bud Tingelstad, Bobby Grimm, and Johnny White. The field is now entering that number 3 turn. Mike Ahern, can you see them?
I've got them right now, Chuck. The first row just about 100 feet from our vantage point now. Already reaching us, the strange mixture of sounds. A growl of the Offenhauser, the whine of the Ford, the angry scream of the no-by. They're on us now. They go by the windsock. Its nose pointed out toward the infield. And by us now, row number 8, Bobby Unser, Bob Fife, Eddie Johnson. In the 9th, Jack Brabham, Jim McElreath, and Bob Harkey. They're through the turn. Steady, steady now. Good shape. They're on the short chute. Jim Shelton, number 4.
You bet, and thank you very much, Mike. The bombs just went off, as you could hear in the background. The pace car coming around this number 4 right now. We're getting quick up here.
This speed is picking up fast. It's almost race time, as you can hear in the background, but not till the green flag drops at the starting line, and they still have about 3/8 to a half mile to go. But we're getting ready to report the start of this great race, and here's the voice of the 500, our chief announcer, his 17th year. Here's Sid Collins.
This sight has no equal in sport for drama and suspense. Thousands of standing, screaming fans. Here they come down the main stretch, the world's fastest flying start. There's the green flag, and the 1964 500-mile race is on into the number 1 turn, and here is Bill Frosch.
We're watching, we're waiting, and Jim Clark is way out in front. He is far out in front of the rest of the pack as they negotiate the first turn.
In turn 2, there goes Jim Clark up the backstretch with the lead of about 10 car lengths. And several cars make past Chuck Barlow.
Right, there goes Clark by me, Roger Ward. Bobby Marchman running in second as they enter now turn number 3, Mike Ahern.
We got a jump, and it's still Jimmy Clark way out in front. He takes the third nicely. It's Marshman, then it's Ford, and then it's A.J. Boyd. Down the short chute, number 4, Jim Schultz.
All right, Mike, we're right here, and it's still Clark by a good long haul. And then right behind him is Marshman. Marshman is number 2. It's Clark, number 1. Marshman in number 2. Here's Sid Collins.
And as they come down, you're right, Clark has a nice lead, followed by Bobby Marshman, followed by Roger Ward and A.J. Foyt. Let's pick it up and go around the track once again. Bill?
The same way you called him. Here comes Jim Clark. Marshman, and there goes Roger Ward. In turn 2, it's Jim Clark, Marshman, Ward, and Foyt, Parnelli Jones, and Dan Gurney and Lloyd Ruby up the backstretch.
Right, here we are. Clark going by now. Marshman, then Roger Ward, Parnelli Jones, Foyt. There's the team up into number 3. Mike?
In number 3, it's still Jimmy Clark around us now. There goes Marshman, followed very closely now by Roger Ward, A.J. Foyt. Down the short chute, number 4, Jim Schultz.
We're right back here on number 4, and it's still Clark by a healthy margin. Number 51 is in number 2 position and doing very well. They're down that home stretch, and they should be right at the finish line right now. How about it, Sid?
There he goes, right across that line, Jim. Clark, Marshman, Ward, and now moving up on the outside, passing Foyt was Parnelli Jones. And Dan Gurney is also coming into contention. The yellow caution flag is being waved. The yellow light is on. There's an accident on the main stretch up in front of us. Jim Shelton, can you see it? Out of the 4th turn, there's a car burning. Jim, come in.
Sid, there has been a spectacular crash almost at the head of the main stretch. There's so much fire and so much smoke, I am unable to see any car at all. Now the smoke is clearing away. We'll try to get the glasses on it, and perhaps somebody from the tower can see, Sid. Somebody did not make that number 4 all the way around and kerwoom right into the fence, and the yellow caution light is out. These drivers are using extreme caution, and we must compliment each and every one. There seems to be a fire in the pit area right now. Sid, back to you. Can you see?
We can see several cars on fire from here, but we are not going to attempt to give the number until they're officially given to us. We do not wish to alarm anyone. The safety crews are out there with their extinguishers and are doing a good job of putting out one fire. There's a tremendous amount of heavy black smoke going back into the stand area, which is, of course, merely smoke going over the people there, and I trust they're not too much inconvenience, but it must be heavy and discomforting to them. We do not see the crowd backing up, however, at this time. It was a very spectacular crash, and John DeCamp is out on the ledge with his binoculars, checking very carefully. The cars, I hope, report immediately now as the cars had stopped before the fire, so we certainly hope if no one was unconscious, the drivers able to get out of the cars. That's the first report that we have right now. Jack Shapiro in the north pit perhaps could run up that way and come back and has a report for us. Come in, Jack.
Sid, I can't give you a report on the cars that are burning, but the car that has come furthest down the straightaway and is now up against the outside wall is Bobby Unser's Novi, car number 9, that four-wheel drive car that many fans thought might just take this race because it's a new machine out here. Of course, one of the Novis, bad luck on the first, right at the beginning of the race, and he is out of it. We cannot tell which cars are on fire at this point. Sid, back to you.
Bobby Unser, of course, had the bad luck last year, too, going out after completing only 2 laps in the race. So if the report is accurate, And Unser again has had very bad luck. We have yellow flag still out. We'll break now for 60 seconds and be back. Stay tuned for the greatest spectacle in racing. Back here in the master control tower once again, and 15 seconds ago, Pat Vadan, the chief starter, reached for the red flag. The straightaway has been covered by fire and smoke. There's no room for the cars to negotiate without additional danger, and so the 500-mile race has been stopped. The cars have been taken off the track. The ambulance is going by. We are not going to attempt to give you any names or cars until we are sure, and we have not gotten them officially yet. There are many rumors. We know you'd rather wait than to alarm anyone. I know this will be a difficult assignment, but if Jack Shapiro or Luke Walton or Lou Palmer would please go to one of the officials and possibly could get him to come to our mic and say something for our worldwide audience, we would like to know, if we can, from them. I know when you walk up, they may say they don't want to talk right now, but if you could leave your posts, Jack and Luke are the nearest, and try to find out from someone officially down there, we would like very much to have the word passed along to these hundreds of millions of listeners that we have. Well, we have not received any information, official or unofficial, at this time, and Harlan Fengler, of course, has the bright red hat down there. We're keeping an eye on him. Tom Binford is also there, the president of USAC, and I wonder if Luke Walton or Jack Shapiro may have picked up some information. Could we have any word, if there is any, from either point? Would the engineer call in then and tell us if they have left the post? Luke Walton's point or Jack Shapiro's in the pits. Things are, as you can imagine, a bit bedlam right now. Jack, come in the north pit, please. Hello.
This is Shapiro in the north pits.
Yes, go ahead, Jack. We can.
I have been down to the scene of the accident. There were 3 cars involved, besides the car up against the outside wall, which is the number 9 Novi, driven by Bobby Unser. Bobby Unser walked by me here in the pits, and he is all right. The other 3 cars, I think, are Eddie Sachs' car, and Walt Hansgen's car, and Ronnie Duman's car. 2 of the cars are very badly burned, and we have seen at least 2 ambulances go down the pit line to the track hospital. We cannot give you precise names and numbers because of the extreme damage to the cars from fire, and of course they're pretty badly bent up too. That's all for now, Sid. I'm a little out of breath. Back to you.
Jack, thank you. In checking here, the early report, again, not verified, and let's check this. This came in against Mr. Shapiro's report. Car number 9, Bobby Unser. Number 26, we have here Norman Hall, number 26, the Hearst Special. Number 83, Dave McDonald, the Mickey Thompson Sears Allstate Special. And 86, Johnny Rutherford. Now that's an early report off the teletype, not verified, and completely opposed to that of Jack Shapiro's report. So let us check once again with the timers and scores floor. John DeCamp is still down there, and he'll be back in a few moments to give us that information. Previously reported that car number 53, the MG Liquid Suspension Special, driven by rookie Walt Hansgen, was out of the race, has now been rescinded and is incorrect. Hansgen's car is being lined up for the restart and seems to be undamaged. So in the confusion, there have been some false reports, as we told you, and nothing we have given you yet is official. We have a report that the Speedway Field Hospital tells us that Ronnie Duman is being flown by helicopter to Methodist Hospital. There's a helicopter right here on the ground, and he is being flown to Methodist Hospital, Ronnie Duman. And driver Dave McDonald, who was in the Mickey Thompson Sears Allstate Special, which was burned so badly, report is Dave McDonald is in serious condition. And now here's an announcement of the public address system. Can we pick this up?
It is with deepest regret that we make this announcement. Driver Eddie Sachs was fatally injured in the accident on the main straightaway.
You heard the announcement from the public address system. There's not a sound. Men are taking off their hats. People are weeping. Over 300,000 fans here are not moving, disbelieving. Some men try to conquer life in a number of ways. These days of our outer space attempts, some men try to conquer
the universe. Race drivers are courageous men who try to conquer life and death, and they calculate their risks. And in our talking with them over the years, I think we know their inner thoughts in regard to racing. They take it as a part of living. No one is moving on the racetrack. They're standing silently. A race driver who leaves this earth mentally when he straps himself into the cockpit to try for what to him is the biggest conquest he can make, is aware of the odds, and Eddie Sachs played the odds. He was serious and frivolous. He was fun. He was a wonderful gentleman. He took much needling and gave much needling, and just as the astronauts do, perhaps, these boys on the racetrack ask no quarter and they give none. If they succeed, they're a hero, and if they fail, they tried. And it was Eddie's desire, I'm sure, and will, to try with everything he had, which he always did. So the only healthy way perhaps we can approach the tragedy of the loss of a friend like Eddie Sachs is to know that he would have wanted us to face it as he did, as it has happened, not as we wish it would have happened. It is God's will, I'm sure, and we must accept that. We're all speeding toward death at the rate of 60 minutes every hour. And the difference is that we don't know how to speed faster, and Eddie Sachs did. And so since death has 1,000 or more doors, Eddie Sachs exits this earth in a race car. Knowing Eddie, I assume that's the way he would have wanted it.